When interacting with others, she goes by notions and sees the surface. Seeing there is someone who likes to fellowship on their state, she thinks that person is simple and open and knows themselves. But she based her judgment on appearances and becomes confused. What is being simple and open? What is truly knowing yourself? She discovers the answer by seeking the truth.
In April 2021, I was living in a house with Chen Yu and a few other sisters. In the beginning, she liked to talk with people about her state, and even over meals. I thought about how she was even able to make use of mealtime. She was very focused on life entry and liked to seek the truth. This one time when we were chatting, she told me she really cared about others' facial expressions and opinions. And if someone had a bad tone with her, she'd figure that they were looking down on her and that she was cunning. She also stated she always competed with others over name and was concerned with status. I was thinking, we'd barely known each other, so her being able to tell me about her major flaws and weaknesses meant she was simple and open. Later on, I noticed that she really did have complex states. She cared too much about people's expressions and second-guessed others. Sometimes when others pointed out her problems, she'd wonder if they looked down on her. Then later opened up about her revelation, saying that second-guessing was cunning and so on. At first I thought she was just a sensitive, fragile person. I felt that everyone has faults and all kinds of problems. We all believe in God and should have more tolerance and forgiveness for each other. Also, she was able to open up after showing corruption, so she should be able to accept the truth. I didn't think much of it. Generally, when she told me about her state, I'd patiently listen to her. And in conversation, I made sure to pay attention to how her mood was, to avoid saying something hurtful to her. Because of that, she liked talking to me. From her words, I could tell that she felt I had a good personality and was generous, and she liked people like me. Plus, every time we chatted, it was about her second-guessing and caring about face. Sometimes it'd go on for an hour, and this really held up my duties.
Talking about issues is normal, but constantly holding up duties isn't right.
Yeah.
Did you point that out to her at the time?
No, I didn't do it. Seeing how she trusted me, I was afraid she'd be hurt if I didn't listen. I was embarrassed to interrupt her. Some things happened later that slowly changed how I saw her. Once, Sister Lee didn't take her criticism seriously about folding a bedspread. She got so mad and wouldn't let it go, insisting to do it her way. She generally wanted other people to go along with her and make her happy. So Sister Lee said she was too into status, that she wanted people around her simply to control others.
Right.
Afterward, she opened up to Sister Lee, crying and saying she wasn't like what she mentioned, that she was misunderstood. Sister Lee apologized, but she didn't let go of it and even gave her the silent treatment. After that, Chen Yu often isolated herself and didn't talk with us much. Once, when she was talking with me, she said that the other sisters talked with Sister Lee a lot, so she assumed Sister Lee was liked and that they looked down on her, so she avoided everyone. She thought Sister Lee was being insincere when she spoke with her. Later, she said she had poor humanity, and that second-guessing Sister Lee like that was really cunning. Despite that, she still didn't change. For 2 weeks, she was gloomy towards us because of that, and everyone felt really constrained.
Sulking for 2 weeks is unreasonable.
It is. Honestly, I was pretty taken aback and couldn't make sense of it. Why didn't she seek the truth and learn a lesson when faced with issues? I was thinking about how she tended to get into a mood and sulk, and that we would just need to help her out of love.
Oh, did she finally change after that?
Not at all. This one time, a video she was producing had to be redone due to some issues it had. In a gathering, the team leader said producers assume main responsibility for video issues. Chen Yu assumed the leader meant her, thinking the leader thought she had poor caliber and didn't like her. For days, she had this gloomy look.
Oh.
A leader fellowshipped with her after that, saying she didn't accept the truth and was overreacting, and that never changing was really dangerous.
Yeah.
Chen Yu cried hearing that. She said she was just too cunning and wouldn't be saved by God. Seeing how upset she was, the leader fellowshipped on God's will so she wouldn't misunderstand him and could reflect on her problem. She kept quiet at the time, and so the leader thought she would have some change. But surprisingly, in a gathering, she said she couldn't accept what the leader said about her and had been depressed. Later, crying to some brothers and sisters, she said the team leader looked down on her for her low caliber and that she didn't know how to get through it. They were sympathetic to her. Things like this were always happening, and after someone fellowshipped with her, she'd always know herself and acknowledge her problem, but then would throw a fit when something else happens.
She'd say something nice on the outside, but she couldn't actually accept the truth.
Exactly. Her acting that way was confusing. Since she always seemed to know herself, why exactly didn't she ever change? If the others said anything that hurt her pride, she'd assume they were looking down on her and then take it the wrong way. Wasn't there a problem with her humanity and understanding? I really couldn't understand this, so I prayed to God in seeking and fellowshipped with others who understood the truth. A sister told me that Chen Yu knew everything after years of faith, but didn't practice truth and was often negative. This proved that she didn't have true knowledge of herself.
Yeah.
That sister sent me some of God's words. I'd like to read them for you.
Okay.
Fellowshipping self-knowledge, some are quick to say, I am a devil, a living Satan, someone who resists God. I disobey him and betray him. I'm a viper, an evil person who should be cursed. Is this true self-knowledge? They only speak in generalities. Why do they not offer examples? Why can they not bring the shameful things they did out to light? Some undiscerning people hear them and think, now that is true self-knowledge. To know themselves as a devil, Satan, and even to curse themselves, what heights they've reached. Many people, new believers in particular, are prone to be deluded by this talk. Thinking the speaker is pure and understands spiritual matters is someone who loves the truth and is fit to be a leader. But once they interact with them for a while, they find they're not who they imagine to be, but are exceptionally false and deceptive, skilled at disguise and impersonation, a great disappointment. So how should whether someone loves the truth be measured? This depends on what they ordinarily manifest and on whether they live out the reality of truth, whether they really do what they say, whether what they say and what they do are the same. If what they say sounds coherent and agreeable, but they don't do it, don't live it out, then they've become a Pharisee. They are a hypocrite, and absolutely not someone who loves the truth. Many people sound coherent in fellowshipping, but don't realize when they have outpourings of a corrupt disposition. Are these people who know themselves? If people do not know themselves, do they understand the truth? All without self-knowledge lack knowledge of the truth, and those who speak empty words have false spirituality. They are liars. Some people sound very coherent when they speak words of doctrine, but the state in their spirit is numb and dull-witted. They are unperceptive, and they are unresponsive to any issues. They are numb, but sometimes listening to them speak, their spirits seem quite sharp. For example, Right after an incident, they are able to know themselves straight away. Just now, an idea was made apparent. I thought about it and realized that it was crafty, that I was deceiving God. Some people are envious, saying they know right away when they show corruption and can open up and fellowship about it. They are so quick to react. Their spirit is sharp. They're much better than us. They truly pursue the truth. Is it right to judge people this way? No, it is not. So what should be the basis for evaluating whether people really know themselves? It can't just be what comes from their mouths. You must also look at their actual behavior. The simplest way is to see if they are able to practice the truth. This is what's most crucial. That they can practice the truth proves that they truly know themselves, because those who truly know themselves manifest repentance. And people don't truly know themselves until they show repentance. Amen.
Amen.
What I learned from God's words is that when considering if someone loves and accepts the truth, if they truly know themselves, it's not about seeing what they verbally admit or how well they spout theories, but rather about what they live out facing issues. If they can practice the truth, if they really repent and change, and if what they understand actually matches their entry. Some people spout all the right doctrine, but can't practice the truth when they face things and act on their satanic disposition. That's someone who doesn't accept the truth.
So
Right.
true.
Some people can open up no matter what kind of thoughts they show and know their corruption. So people think they're simple. But they don't bother to mention the motives behind that, and they don't get to the bottom of their corrupt disposition. They may seem simple and open, but they're actually misleading people. It's cunning behavior.
It is.
Some people's self-knowledge is just an illusion. They verbally acknowledge that they are wrong. They call themselves Satan, the devil, and curse and condemn themselves, and that they are nothing and useless. As for the specific wicked things they've done, like their hidden motives and goals behind that, or what that has led to, they don't say a word.
That reminds me of the Lord Jesus exposing the Pharisees in the Bible. Straining out gnats, but swallowing camels. This kind of so-called self-knowledge is fake, it's deceptive, and misleading.
You're right.
Yeah. Looking at Chen Yu, she enjoyed talking to people about her state and seemed to really pursue and seek the truth. She was always found saying things like, I have poor humanity, I'm cunning, I'm malicious. It looked like she understood herself well, but she didn't practice the truth in the face of issues. She didn't bother to resolve her own corruption at all. 2 years before, others said she second-guessed people, and she was focused on status, but she still hadn't changed whatsoever. It's obvious she was all talk. It was fake, and all she was doing was tricking people. The knowledge she talked and how she lived didn't match up.
Yeah.
Later, I read fellowship from God on which people are brothers and sisters and which people aren't. So I gained some discernment over Chen Yu. I'll read it for you now. Those who love the truth belong to God's house. They are real brothers and sisters. Do you think that all those who often go to assembly are brothers and sisters? Not really. What people are not brothers and sisters? Those who are sick of the truth, who do not accept and do not pursue the truth. They're those who don't accept and are sick of the truth, who are wicked, and some people with bad humanity. Even some appear to have good humanity, but excel at playing with philosophies for living. These people will employ crafty maneuvers and use, wheedle, and cheat others. Once the truth is fellowshipped, they lose interest and are sick of it, can't stand to hear it. They feel it's boring and can't sit still. What kind of people are these? They are unbelievers, and whatever you do, do not regard them as brothers and sisters. So what things do these people live by? Certainly, they live by Satan's philosophies. They are always being wily and always being cunning. They lack a life of normal humanity. They never pray to God or seek the truth, but handle everything using human tricks, tactics, and philosophies for living. which makes for an exhausting existence. Even in simple matters, they try to cover up things, and if they're not rationalizing, they're making excuses. It's an exhausting life, right? Why do they spout nonsense when things can be easily explained? Their thinking is convoluted, and they're unable to accept the truth. For their own face or for a few words, they'll argue till they're blue in the face, as if they have some sort of nervous condition. These people's lives are so painful. On closer examination, their actions, what they do all day, they all relate to their own face, reputation, and vanity. It's as if they're living in a web. They must rationalize or make excuses for everything and are always speaking for themselves. Their thinking is tangled, they talk nonsense, their words are chaotic. They always argue over what's right and wrong, there's no end to it. If they're not fighting for face, they're fighting for name and status, and they always live for these things. And what is the ultimate consequence? They may have gained face, but in reality, everyone is sick and tired of them. People realized they lack the reality of truth and do not truly believe in God. When leaders or brothers and sisters criticize them a bit, they stubbornly refuse to accept it. They insist on making excuses. They try to pass the buck. And during assemblies, they defend and twist right and wrong, stirring up trouble among God's chosen ones. In their hearts, they're thinking, do I really not make sense? What kind of person is this? Is this someone who loves the truth? Someone who believes in God? If someone's words offend them, they want to talk it through and are tangled in who's right or wrong. They don't seek the truth or treat it based on principles of the truth. No matter how simple a matter is, they have to make it much more complicated. They're just asking for trouble. They deserve to be so exhausted. Amen.
God's words are very clear. Those who love and practice the truth are true brothers and sisters and are people of God's house.
Yes.
Those who don't accept the truth, who are sick of it, are non-believers. Even if they're in the church, they're not true brothers and sisters.
You're right. Reading God's words, it's easy for us to discern who are brothers and sisters and who are non-believers.
Yes.
Some people like bickering over right and wrong. They don't accept the truth, but rather are sick of it. They don't seek the truth, reflect, or even know themselves. They are always defending and trying to justify themselves. A person like that is naturally deceptive. It's not only tiring for them, but they also bring others pain and annoyance. They are not a true brother or sister. Then, about Chen Yu, because of someone's unintentional remark that grazed her reputation and hurt her, she'd doubt them and be suspicious of them and become biased. Then she'd falsely open up to explain herself or talk about herself as a way to bring up others' problems, always bickering about right and wrong. For example, when the team leader gave her some suggestions in her duty, she thought the team leader was looking down on her, so she got unhappy. Then afterward, in a gathering, she opened up and said the team leader thought little of her, to get people's empathy and make them biased toward the leader. People usually had to tiptoe around her in their interactions with her, watching for her expressions and her face, fearing if they say something wrong it'll impact her state. Interactions were oppressive and not one person could feel free. Her overthinking and depressive states also seriously impacted her work progress. I used to think that she was just a sensitive and fragile person, that she easily got into a huff and sulked when things didn't go her way, that it was a normal human fault. I didn't think it would actually disturb the others or hinder church work at that. But lining it up with the facts, I saw that it actually had affected brothers and sisters' states, as well as the life of the church. It also impacted the progress of church work. Combined with her presentation, she didn't accept the truth at all and was really cunning. She wasn't edifying or helpful. She was a non-believer. The leader understood her general behavior, took her duty away, and made her isolate.
Discerning people with God's words is crucial. I always used to think that anyone who accepted God's work and entered the church was a brother or sister. I had no discernment and just fellowshipped and helped anyone with love and patience. I wasted so much effort. It was foolish.
After that, I read God's words exposing people's corrupt dispositions, and I saw the hidden disposition behind Chen Yu's words, and I gained discernment over it. Deceit is often outwardly evident. When someone beats around the bush or is too shrewd and cunning with their words, that's deceit. And what is the chief characteristic of evil? It's when people say things that sound nice, when it all seems right, beyond reproach, and good from any angle. It is when they do things and achieve their aims without using any obvious techniques. They are extremely secretive when they do things. They achieve them without any visible tells or any giveaways. This is how the Antichrists delude people. And such things and such people are very difficult to identify. Some people often say the right words, employ nice-sounding phrases, and use doctrines, arguments, and techniques that align with people's feelings to hoodwink people. They pretend one way but go another, to achieve their secret aims. This is evil. People usually believe these behaviors to be deceit. They have less knowledge of evil and dissect it less too. Evil is actually more difficult to identify than deceit, for it is more hidden, and the methods and techniques involved are more sophisticated. Amen.
Amen.
God's words expose evil people. These people say some things that sound nice and right, that sound agreeable. But hidden behind that are ulterior motives that regular people can't discern.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but think of Chen Yu's behavior. She told me that I was generous and didn't bicker with her, and that she liked interacting with me. Once, when she saw Sister Lee wasn't home, she sent a text message saying she was afraid to be alone at home, like she was a kid missing their mom by their side. Hearing something like that, we felt she had trust in us, and that she saw us as a trusted friend, or even as a family member. It made us want to take care of her, and even go along with her in everything. Even when she was arguing over right and wrong, thinking others were looking down on her, no one would discern what she said, and would just sympathize with her and pity her. Clearly, she'd say things that sounded nice, flattered others, and were what they wanted to hear, but behind that, she wanted to draw them in.
Yeah.
She usually liked to talk with people about her state, so that they saw she was focused on life entry, and that she sought and pursued the truth. But in reality, she was intentionally creating this pseudo-spiritual image in order to get others to think well of her. Through talking about her state with others, she was actually wanting to be comforted, venting, and playing on people's feelings. She even took up the time of people doing their duty. But I couldn't see her motives, or discern what sort of person she really was. I just always kindly fellowshipped with her, helping and supporting her. I was enthusiastic to help her whenever I saw that she was struggling, and I considered her first for anything beneficial. Now I finally saw from God's words that she had an evil nature, that she was deceptive in both word and deed, that she was hoodwinking and deceiving everyone.
Hearing you say this, I can now see that what's behind putting on an act is an evil disposition. And that's harder to see than craftiness. To achieve their secret aims, one misleads and tricks others, and does things that may look good to others and are in line with the truth, and so others are just taken in.
Yeah. I self-reflected after that. Why hadn't I had any discernment over Chen Yu? In my reflection, I saw I had a mistaken perspective. I took her being able to talk about her state as being simple and open as practicing the truth, and didn't pay attention to her words. Only through God's words did I see what being simple and open truly is.
May I read it?
Sure. This passage here.
Honesty means giving your heart to God. being genuine with God in all things, being open with Him in all things, never hiding facts or deceiving those above or below, not acting just to curry favor with God. In short, to be honest is to be pure in your actions and words, and to deceive neither God nor man. If your words are riddled with excuses and valueless justifications, then I say that you are someone who is loath to put the truth into practice. If you have many confidences that you are reluctant to share, if you are highly averse to laying bare your secrets, your difficulties, before others to seek the way of the light, then I say that you will not attain salvation easily, and you are someone who will not easily emerge from the darkness.
Amen.
Amen.
I saw from God's words that being simple and open is opening up in fellowship about your problems and corrupt dispositions, not disguising anything or hiding facts. Opening up is mainly to seek the truth and to quickly resolve any problems you have.
Yeah.
Then through that, you can see the root of your corruption and you can have a heart-to-heart talk with others. This is edifying and beneficial for people.
It is.
To see if someone is being open, you can look at their motives and the results achieved. For example, if they talk about prejudices, small issues at home, and gossip, without any real self-reflection or understanding, then it's not genuine if they open up in that manner.
Yes.
That's true.
That's venting about what they don't like and secretly blaming others for their problems. There's no benefit or help for people in that kind of openness.
That's true.
Some people even act like they're open to pretend they're honest people who accept the truth, so that others look up to them. Doing that is exalting themselves and showing off. It's misleading.
Yes.
It is.
Considering all of Chen Yu's self-knowledge, she mostly opened up about her suspicions of others and about the thoughts and ideas she revealed, but never about her corrupt dispositions, hidden intentions, or even her motives. She didn't open up to seek the truth or resolve her corruption, but rather to make complaints so people would feel sorry for her and comfort her. She even used it to justify herself, to not be misunderstood. That way, she could protect her image in others' eyes. Her openness didn't resolve her corrupt disposition one bit, and it didn't benefit brothers and sisters in any way. That wasn't being simple and open.
Yeah.
It was playing games and being tricky. I gained some clarity once I realized that. It was clear Chen Yu wasn't someone who pursued the truth, and that she wasn't simple and honest. She was really cunning and evil.
Yeah.
I reflected on myself after that. I'd interacted with her for nearly a year, and I gained more or less awareness of her general issues. So why was it now that I'd gained discernment over her? I realized the root of this was that I wasn't seeing it through God's words, but I was looking at appearances through my own notions. I viewed her opening up and her wanting to share her state with others as her loving and seeking the truth.
Right.
I didn't look at her motives, or the starting point in things, or what was actually achieved. I didn't look at how she carried herself or at her approaches, and didn't judge things through God's words. That's why I didn't see her essence or gain discernment. I even treated her like she was a sister, always forgiving her, helping, and supporting her with love. I was so foolish. Now I understand that discerning whether a person loves and pursues the truth isn't about how much they like to fellowship or talk about self-knowledge, but whether they seek the truth and practice God's words when facing problems, and then if they have real entry and change.
Yeah.
Right.
I also realized the importance of discerning a person's essence based on God's words.
Yeah.
You'll be misled. If you can't discern people, you'll love people blindly. Support and help the wrong people as brothers and sisters. This will ultimately disrupt the church's work. Only by seeing people and things through God's words can we have discernment
Yes.
and know how to properly interact with others.
Thank God.